Hello there, Ringside crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode. Wait, Keith, by the way, what number episode is this one?
It's in the 180s.
180 of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain.
You mean Candy Mountain.
Oh, wait, let me do my intro. From the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states in the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Pretty good, Geek. Ready to fire up the jet and have the mod click her phone and the portal opens to Candyland? Ready, Geekin?
Yeah.
Because let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Joey Silver.
Sweet
Cheeks.
What is up, guys? Thank you so much for having me on. I'm happy to be here.
No
What's
problem.
up? How's it going? Thanks so much for accepting our request, dude.
Of course.
Yes, we have landed in Candyland, man. I'm going to have to go after those Swedish fish, man. Love them.
We are here. I wish I had my my candy background. It would set the mood.
Yeah.
We'll have to get by without it.
I would have to go upstairs and grab my bag of candy bones that I have. All right. So, if our fans aren't familiar with you, and why would they not be, introduce yourself.
Well, I am the champion of chocolate, the sultan of sweets, the king of candy, Joey Silver, Sweet Cheeks, and I'm here spreading sweetness on the Dudes at Ringside podcast.
That's great.
So, Joey, who trained you?
I was trained. I actually have a few trainers. When I started training at the age of 19, I was trained by Tony Nese and Alex Reynolds.
Wow.
From the Dark Order on AEW. And I was there under their guidance for a couple years. And then I moved to that was on Long Island. And then I moved to New York City and I started training at House of Glory under Amazing Red.
Wow.
Another Red train.
Wow, you're being trained by all the legends right there.
Yeah, legit. And then to keep the legendary status going, I actually did the Nightmare Factory training camp down in Georgia.
Wow.
I'd love to tell you guys about that, but I was training under Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall there. So, yeah, just legends on legends.
Yeah.
Damn. That's amazing, Joe.
That's
right?
insane because, like, we had another wrestler this past week trained by Red also, and it's like, man, the list goes on and on. Who he trained and how where they are in the like indies world right now. It's like insane. Like,
are you familiar with Rembrandt or no?
Of course.
Yeah. So
The
yeah, we just had
Rembrandt.
him on the podcast last night. So
Yeah, he's a great guy. Him and Cosmic.
oh yeah.
Cosmic. Yeah, they both were on the podcast last night. So
Nice. Yeah, they're keeping busy. I keep tabs on them. So glad you guys got them on the podcast too. That's a good get.
They also broke some news about PPW. They got screwed out of it. He got screwed out of his title, and like I thought maybe he would touch it lightly. Geek makes the clip, and I swear to you, that thing, I can't even tell you how many stories that was on. I was like,
oh geez.
we get shadow banned by PPW. PSA,
You're gonna get blocked.
Don't blast me, please. Don't blast us. We like you. So, is there any place in the country or the world that you would like to travel to wrestle, or just travel to?
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to wrestle like all over. if I get the chance. I'd love it. I've mainly been in the Northeast. I know this is Northeast Week on the Dudes at Ringside podcast, or Northeast Month rather.
Yeah.
But I've done a couple things in like Georgia and Florida. But I'd really love to get over to the West Coast, to California, I'd love to get to Texas. Great scene down there. Chicago. I know a couple people out there, a couple promotions I'd love to get into. And then internationally, it's one of my goals this year to wrestle internationally, and whether that be right next door in Canada or Mexico. That would be amazing. I'd love to go one day to the UK or Japan.
Definitely. All good places and good goals to have right now.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the Sweet Cheeks character would do really well in Japan.
Oh, God, you don't even know. You'll have so many people freaking out.
Hey, Curry Man was so successful in Japan, so you never know. There you go. So.
That's very true. International success.
Also, maybe in Sweden and over there like that, because of candy and stuff like that, how they love candy in Sweden and stuff like that. So you'd be popular.
Germany too.
But yeah, in Germany, Sweden and Germany, in that area.
Yeah, I mean some of the best chocolate over there.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
would you add to your outfit and add the Willy Wonka jacket and stuff like that and the hat, or you think?
Well, I don't want to rip off Willy Wonka too much. I kind of got my own thing going.
Yeah. I could see you throwing Swedish fish in the crowd. Yay! Here, everybody!
I have.
Somebody be like,
yeah, he has. There you go, Joe. Right?
I'd be like,
yeah.
And this, I'll be the one that misses the whole time. You're missing it.
That's part of my entrance, though. When I walk into the crowd, I will throw candy. It gets the people going. Okay. Gets the party started, and people are excited. They got their candy, they got their sugar rush, and they're ready to see Sweet Cheeks do his thing.
Yeah, got a question from the crowd, Geekins.
Yeah, how did you come up with the Sweet Cheeks gimmick?
Oh, Frankie. Well, it was quite a process. When I started wrestling, I didn't really know what gimmick I wanted to do. So I kind of just was this pretty generic white meat baby face, and I wore silver tights because my last name is Silver, and I was like, yeah, I'm Joey Silver. And it was kind of just not much there. I mean, it was very, very vanilla.
Gotcha.
And then I was just thinking, I'm like, wrestling, I really want to make this. I really want to, go hard, go full on with wrestling. And what can I do? I started thinking, what can I do to stand out? And I was listening to Stone Cold's podcast, and he was talking about how the best characters in wrestling are people who are themselves just turned up to 11. You might have heard that before, but he was talking about how the Stone Cold character is really just Steve Austin turned up to 11. And I started thinking, well, what aspect of Joey Silver can I turn up to 11? And I was like, I like whatever. I like music, I like singing, I like candy. Yeah. And that was kind of where I landed, and I came up with this Sweet Cheeks character, this candy-loving pro wrestler, and kind of crafted the character to be this iconic, having these iconic pieces. So you'll notice in my ring gear, we got the headband, the sunglasses, the white fur jacket, and the candy coated tights. And I feel like those are some, and the candy necklace too. That's a signature piece. So it was all very carefully constructed and intentional, and that's the fun part of wrestling is coming up with the gimmick, the character.
Who
yeah. So what would you say your favorite candy is?
That's a great question. I've gotten that many times before, and it's really a three-way tie, and I hope I don't get any hate for this because as much as I love candy, I'm definitely more of a chocolate guy.
Okay, there you
So
go.
my top three, in no particular order, are Reese's, Twix, and KitKats.
Reese's are the best, though. You know?
Reese's are fire. You can't really go wrong with a Reese's. But I will say, I recently had the Kinder Bueno. I don't know if you've ever had this.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, you see a lot of like advertisements for Kinder Bueno, but like, has anyone ever had it? Well, I did, and it's amazing. Like, it might replace like Kit Kats or something. I don't know. They're really good though. I highly recommend the Kinder Bueno.
Have you ever had Happy Hippos or?
No.
No, you have to look these up. Happy Hippos next time. These, and the mod would tell you in the chat, Happy Hippos are probably the best one of the best candies.
Wow,
they're like shaped like hippos. They're made by Kinder also.
Wow,
and
Kinder's doing some magical things over there.
Yes.
Have you seen what they've been doing with KitKats lately? When I was going to get my glasses, they actually have like dark chocolate strawberry KitKats now.
Oh yeah, they're doing like every flavor imaginable.
Yeah, I don't know if you know in Japan. This is a put on your list when you go to Japan. You can get different flavored KitKats.
I heard about that, like green tea and everything like that.
Yeah, green tea. I've actually had the green tea KitKat.
How was it?
Not great.
No,
not the best. You're gonna send that
really my flavor.
Taking the finger letter. How dare you guys not? So There's a place in New York that has all Japanese candies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they have every flavor of Kit Kat like that. But some of them are bizarre flavors. That's like that should not be candy. Like,
yeah, it's strange. I mean, I feel like over the past, I don't know, 10 years, like companies that make candy or sweet treats, they've been really diversifying like the types of flavors that they make. For instance, M&Ms. Like, you'll now see all different kinds of M&Ms, the brownie batter, caramel, toffee, peanut butter. Like, they have all these different varieties. Another example is Oreo.
Yeah, Oreos, definitely.
Oreo is like killing it. I mean, it used to just be like single stuff, like take it, you like it or you don't. And now there's like a million different flavors, and I love all of them.
Chips Ahoy too. They're doing that too.
Chips Ahoy, yeah. They're following suit.
Yeah, because like Oreos, they have now they have the birthday cake ones, they have the double stuff, triple double stuff. And I'm like, I just want regular Oreos.
They have
like
mega
such a big
stuff
selection now.
There's mega stuff, and then there's another one called the most stuff.
I heard about that. I heard about that one.
It's amazing. It is like the best. It's the best part of the Oreo, just like times 7.
I remember once there was mystery Oreos at one point.
Oh yeah, you know what's an unpopular opinion? The mint Oreos. I love those.
The white chocolate M&Ms are good too.
White chocolate M&Ms, yes.
I saw those. I was like, do I try it? I'll try it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, $1 for it. Can't go wrong with that. $1.
It's $1.
Don't like it, I just give it to the cashier.
That's right.
Christmas.
Who was your favorite person to wrestle against in the ring?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, I've had a lot of like really cool opponents in my life. I think my very favorite though was a very special match against Shannon Moore.
Wow.
It was really cool because I don't think people like really knew how great Shannon Moore was, because he was kind of like in the cruiserweight division, and I feel like you didn't really see too much of him. But he is like really super technically sound. He was a trainer at WWE at the Performance Center, and it was a really, really cool match. And we went like almost 20 minutes, and it was just electric. It was for a company on Long Island called Full Faith Wrestling.
Oh, I heard that company.
Yeah, they run out of Deer Park, and I had like 30 people there show up, friends and family. It was such a cool experience, and the match was just like magic. It was really, really something special.
Yeah. Who would you say your dream opponent is?
My dream opponent, I'd say my dream opponent. One of my dream opponents is Adam Cole.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that I look up to in terms of like just how he wrestles and his character and the brand that he's managed to build. Yeah, I think that would be such a cool match, and he has like such a great moveset. I feel like we could really do a lot of cool things, especially like with my character. It's more on the comedy side, the kind of like shticky, gimmicky kind of character, and Adam Cole's is more serious. So I feel like you kind of need that in a match. Like you need the funny man and the straight man, and sometimes if you put two funny, gimmicky characters in a match together, it doesn't always. Maybe it doesn't always have the chemistry that you might think.
I mean, Adam Cole could get gimmicky because if you've seen his stuff from Ring of Honor, his stuff from New Japan, he doesn't get very gimmicky. But his stuff in WWE wasn't too gimmicky; it was more serious.
Yeah, I like the Undisputed Era kind of Adam Cole, and the more like AEW, like where he's at now. I feel like he's in a really good spot.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean by like silly stuff, like where he would like do the stuff with John Silver and Alex Reynolds, the Budge stuff.
Yes,
that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, so it kind of can work in a way.
That was like the PWG, right?
Yeah, PWG stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So who made your gear?
I had my gear made a company called Champion City Gear. I think they're based in Mexico. But yeah, they did a really nice job. I've had this gear for about 3 years now, and I think I'm ready for my next pair. So I'm probably going to go back to them and get the same kind of style with different colors, because this gear, the tights are pink, but my intention was for them to be purple. So I really wanted the purple ones, but I think I'm going to move on to something like a turquoise blue, and then the candy on the tights will be like a lime green or something like that.
You can even change it sometimes. That'd be pretty cool,
Yeah, exactly.
Keep people on their toes. Say, "Wow, what kind of candy is going to wear now?"
You mean how people do in the WWE games? They have 2 different outfits. Do we want to be the pink outfit today, or do I want to wear the blue outfit today?
Exactly. I feel like New Day actually was a bit of an inspiration in like the colors that I chose. Their gear, it's always so. I mean, they're not like the New Day anymore, but when they were the New Day, their gear was like always so bright and like outlandish and flamboyant, and that's exactly what I was going for. So that was definitely a bit of an inspiration for me. I actually drew a lot of inspiration for my gear. So like the headband, it says sweetness on it, and I kind of like drew inspiration from Macho Man because of the madness.
Yeah.
And the tights kind of mimic Shawn Michaels with the broken hearts, except they're pieces of candy. And then the jacket is actually a light up jacket.
Oh, wow.
So little shades of Chris Jericho there.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about your experience at AEW Dark, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I would love to. So I've actually had three experiences with AEW. you know, it all kind of started with the Nightmare Factory training camp.
Yeah.
And from there, that really opened the door for me, where I had my first dark experience in Jacksonville, where I faced the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Colt Cabana.
Mhm.
And it was, you know, those matches on Dark, they're like squash matches.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to do like too many moves in the ring. But the experience overall, you know, just being there, calling the match, like wrestling in front of, it wasn't in front of like a full crowd at that time. But just like wrestling in an AEW ring was so cool. Like it was surreal. That was my first experience doing like one of the big companies like that. So it was really, really awesome for me, especially being in the ring with Colt Cabana. He's a guy who I've looked up to for so many years. I've, you know, was like one of the first listeners to his podcast, and just been a fan of his, being, you know, a Jewish wrestler. He's like someone I look up to. And so that match was really cool, received very well. And then I had another experience. Geek, you know about this one at the UBS Arena.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, you were there?
I was there, yeah. I was
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really, really cool. That was in front of about 15,000 people. So definitely the largest crowd I've ever wrestled in front of. It was against the Gun Club, Austin Colton and Billy Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
What a surreal experience. Again, I mean, that was really something special because of the crowd. And I also had my parents and my girlfriend were in the crowd, like really close up. So they got to see, kind of like experience that whole thing with me. And so that made it even more special. And yeah, they were all really, really cool to work with. Billy, especially, I mean, when Billy Gunn walked over and we were talking through the match, it just had like shades of Attitude Era. You know, he would walk over and he was like, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Well, no, my phone's on 20%. That's okay. We should make it through this. He was like, all right, here's what we're going to do. It was a 6-man tag. So he was like, all right, one of you're going to come in and I'll bop you. And the next one, I'll bip you. And then the last one, like, you did something to me. And he was very like old school about the way he was calling the match. And it was just really cool to experience that.
Yeah, not only that, it's also you guys are on YouTube in front of like, what is it, 1 million people, which is absolutely awesome as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was really cool. I mean, you're not really thinking about the millions watching at home when you're there, because you're just kind of focused on the 15,000 in front of you, which is more than enough. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like you don't necessarily get an entrance, but as they're walking you to the ring, it's like on the side of the entrance ramp, and people start seeing you. And I started seeing people that I knew in the crowd because, you know, it was my hometown pretty much. Like I'm from Long Island. So I start seeing people, some, you know, wrestlers that I have worked with, or fans that I know that I've known for a long time, or just friends that are wrestling fans that I didn't even know were going to be there. I started seeing them in the crowd and I was like, oh my God, it came over me like a wave, but it was really cool. And then my third and most recent experience was on AEW Dark against Michael Nakazawa. And I think that was one of those examples where you have these two like very funny, gimmicky characters and you throw them in the ring together. And, you know, it was fun. It was a fun match. That's all I'm going to say about it. We had a good time. We did some goofy things, and he beat me with the 6'9" driver, which I'm going to post that on Instagram very soon.
All right. Joe?
Yeah.
So, do you collect anything?
I do. I'm a pretty avid, not so much anymore, but a pretty avid collector of wrestling memorabilia. I guess more so like action figures I had growing up, and also like wrestling cards. I mean, I must have had like upwards of like 2,000 to 3,000 cards. I wish they were worth something, like baseball cards. But a lot of them came in those ice cream packs. Remember those ice cream bars?
I do, yeah.
They would come with a wrestling card.
Oh.
And I think that goes to show just how much ice cream I had as a child.
The ones that I always used to have, I found them in all of my old cards. Do you remember the WCW cards they had out for a while?
Yeah. They had like like that 80s kind of looking background, or like 90s.
Weird Saved by the Bell thing.
Like Saved by the Bell, exactly.
They had the one I found in my cards when I went up in the attic. I found one of Gonzalez. Gonzalez's dad or uncle is his dad or her dad from NXT, the one that was women's champion. Gonzalez. It was Elegante. It was an Elegante card, and I was like, if this card wasn't bent, this probably be like worth $50 or $60 right now. Straight up Elegante, like this.
Wow.
And it's him, and it was because it was in the attic, so it was with the heat cold, so it was kind of like bent a little bit. I'm like, if you weren't bent, you'd be $50.
Yeah, at least. I mean, there's probably some cards that I have that are worth a few $100, but at this point, my parents are moving, they're packing up their house, and we're getting rid of a lot of stuff. So it's kind of sad. A lot of my wrestling memorabilia is going by the wayside.
Do you have a favorite match, or not? I mean, of all time, or?
Yeah, definitely. I have a few. I think probably my favorite that I'll say for this podcast is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart.
Yes, good match.
The double turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a classic, and it's entertaining from start to finish. Just two guys at like the peak of what they're doing, and just killed it. I mean, it's amazing. A great match. If you haven't seen it, watch it tonight.
Is that the match that said you want to become a professional wrestler, or?
No, not necessarily. I don't know if there was really a match that I watched and I said, this is what I need to do. It was more so like the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It was, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was The Rock. It was The Undertaker. And those characters that I really gravitated towards as a child. The matches weren't necessarily even like the driving force, I'd say, behind my passion for it. It was really the characters and like the mic work. But yeah, I mean, maybe one of the early matches that I remember seeing live was Brock versus Rock at SummerSlam 02.
I was there. Me and Keith didn't know each other yet. We were there.
Maybe we were sitting next to each other, and we didn't
even
know.
know, right?
But yeah, I feel like that was the crowd was so electric for that. And really, so many matches on that card. I think that was Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle also.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably the best SummerSlam ever.
All I can remember is, sorry for interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
Like, I don't know if you had this experience when you were leaving the arena, the crowd all was chanting in unison, typical Long Island, Rocky's dead, Rocky's dead. Do you remember that? I remember that.
Vaguely.
It was like they were chanting "Let's Go Islanders," but they were like "Rocky's dead, Rocky's dead." I remember a dad. This kid was crying his eyes out. The kid's face he was crying so hard his face. You ever see little kids cry so hard their face turns red and they're just like like that. And this dad just was like, "Shut up, my kid's crying, you moron! My kid's crying." They all were just looking at the kid going,
"Wow." I was seated right behind Brock Lesnar's parents, So that was a
Really?
pretty cool experience because he came over to them with the belt afterwards, and they were like, tearing up, and he was right in front of me. It was just really cool.
Did you get a picture of that or no?
No, I wish.
That would have been like timeless right there. That picture.
I know. I went to like a lot of really cool events when I was younger, and I feel like I was too young. It was like pre iPhone, obviously. So
Definitely.
you're not like snapping pictures at everything. It was yeah.
I was.
I have an old picture from when I saw the first Elimination Chamber in Madison Square Garden. So I was all the way up. I took a picture.
That's bad picture. It's like
it's a bad picture, but it's like there's the Elimination Chamber, and there's like can't see it.
Wow.
WrestleMania 20. My seats originally were supposed to be behind this set, the opposite direction. This dad and son said, "Want to trade seats with us?" So we trade seats. My seats ended up thinking they were going to be better. They were on the side of the set, further back, but I could see the entire entranceway with the druids all lined in the dark. All you see is the orange color.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't go to WrestleMania 20 because it was right in my backyard. Like it was right there. And I guess I just didn't realize how close it was. And my parents were probably, they were probably like, yeah, we're not going to WrestleMania. Yeah. But I went to, I've been to, I think, four WrestleManias now.
Oh, wow.
Or 3. I don't know. 27, 29, and 32. So 3.
Yeah. I was at 33, 34, and 35.
Oh, wow.
I only did 20 and 35.
All right.
Yeah.
Where was 35 again?
MetLife.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to that.
That was the one that that Hogan was doing his whole spiel in the ring and went on the entranceway, and all of a sudden Brock Lesnar's music cuts in, and Paul Heyman's just
walking around
doing the waddle down the ramp.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I might have missed that one, but yeah, but it had the very lucky life, the pleasure of seeing a lot of really cool wrestling events and wrestling moments, growing up and to this day, and hopefully we'll be a part of many to come.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we know that you're going to be
candy crossed. There you go.
That's it.
We know you're gonna be doing some big things.
Thank you, guys.
Big things.
Yeah.
So my last question. I don't know if the last question. I don't know how much more time you have on your cell phone.
Yeah, we don't know how much more time you have. So
yeah, no, feel free. I got some time.
So where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Listen, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say where I'll be. I could say where I'd like to be, and that would be signed to a major company. But it's a bit out of my control. I think one thing I've got to do is really work on, getting out there more and being in front of more people, building up my name to a more, national audience and building up my following and things like that. I think I'm on the path to doing that. I'm here on the Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm trying to build it up. So, yeah, I mean, definitely if you like what you hear, you maybe saw a match, or maybe you heard of me, maybe you haven't heard of me, feel free to follow along on Instagram and Twitter, Joey_Silver. So just a little plug. I'm not saying I have to go or anything right now, but just wanted to throw that in there.
Your cell phone, Joey. That's why you don't want
exactly. There you go. Joey Silver on Instagram and Twitter.
Your phone gets axed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping with the fishies, the Swedish fishies.
You also have TikTok too.
Yes, Joey Silver Wrestling on TikTok. I had this one video go super viral on TikTok. It got like almost 3 million views. And it was like the most random video. I had this match with a guy where it was like a hardcore match, but it was a trick or treat brawl, I think we called it. And all of the weapons were candy.
Oh, jeez.
And I had this like oversized candy, like an oversized giant chocolate bar, an oversized Kit Kat, like huge. Like I'm trying to fit on the screen, like this big.
Oh my god!
And so it was really, really cool. And at one point in the match, he took rock candy and he was grinding it across my forehead to try to, bust me open. And the video is just like a 5-second clip of him dragging the rock candy on my forehead and me just screaming, ah, ah! And it got almost 3 million views.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
You need to do one of you walking like this and have like candy all around you, like on the ground. I'm walking on sunshine.
Have you ever suplexed somebody on hard candy before?
I sure have.
That's the one question I wanted to ask because it sounds like something you would do,
Yeah. I mean, I've hit my finisher before. Something I used to do a lot more often. I would pour Skittles onto the ring, onto the mat, and hit a move onto that.
Ooh.
It's always a great time.
That's one of my favorite.
Taste the rainbow.
I love Skittles. Those are one of my favorites. Yeah. I like the regular original Skittles, and I also like the other version of them. The one that had like the blueberry. It's oh my god.
The yogurt coating or something?
No, it's like I think the packaging of that one's yellow. I think it's a yellow packaging for the Skittles. But yeah, those are my favorite ones.
Wow, delicious.
So I know you love candy, but what's your favorite food?
My favorite food, when it's done right, steak. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with like a delicious, steakhouse in New York City steak, like filet mignon. My mouth is salivating right now. I just ate dinner and I'm like, I could go for a steak right now.
Need more.
Yeah.
But I do find that it's hard for me to have dinner and not have dessert. I don't know if everyone else is like this, but Joe is like this, but I always thought, is it just me? Like I'm having something savory before I go to sleep. I need to have something sweet.
So like what kind of, like you said dessert, like what would it be? Like ice cream, cakes, like what?
Yeah, anything of the like. I mean, a chocolate bar, candy, cake, ice cream, anything like that. I mean, I just need something like it's like a palate cleanser for me, almost. Like,
yeah,
I just need it.
I would go for if I'm like near like where the Geek Lab, we'll go to Carvel.
Ice cream's definitely for us,
Oh yeah, I love Carvel.
My sister's fiance, they own a chain. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky. You're a lucky man.
Yeah, it's been in the family for certain generations too.
That's another goal that I have actually, to one day open like a candy shop or something like that. And just have like, Sweet Cheeks candy shop or something along those lines.
Either that or ice cream flavored Ben and Jerry's or something like that.
Oh hell yeah. That
would
be so
what would
cool.
be in the ice cream? What would you have if you have Sweet Cheeks ice cream? What kind of candy would be in the ice cream?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Now he's ideas. Now we're giving him ideas to sell at the shows now.
Yeah, I love it.
God, I can think maybe Swedish fish inside of it, M&Ms.
Well, they already have one with Swedish fish, right?
They had it. I don't think they sell it anymore.
Fish food.
Fish food. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they sell that anymore. I would put M&Ms, Reese's, like the ones that look like M&Ms, M&Ms, Reese's, something that would when you put it in ice cream, it won't get too hard, and it won't hurt your tooth when you bite into it. Oh, I broke my tooth.
Here's another idea: you could sell candy bars with your face on it.
Yes, that is definitely an idea. That is one that I've had, and I am looking into manufacturing that. The Sweet Cheeks bar. That might be a thing in the near future, so we'll see.
Like a rip-off Willy Wonka kind of idea.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like almost like a crunch bar. Which one would you want? The nougat type or the one with, like a crunch bar with crunchy and it's little crunchies in it.
Something in there. Maybe not a nougat, but like it would be something chocolatey, something like I don't even know, like a Nutella, like maybe a little crunch in there. I don't know. It would have to be delicious though.
Yeah, I love chocolate. Hey, you could have us do a live episode if you ever open your candy shop. We could be at the grand opening outside in front. Be like, guys, come inside.
Yes, someday, guys, it's gonna be a thing. Whether it's an ice cream flavor with Ben and Jerry's, you know, that I think that would be a really cool like thing to a really cool thing to have, an ice cream flavor, sweet cheeks.
Yeah.
I definitely buy it.
Yeah. So
I would
anyway,
yeah.
Do you have any upcoming shows or
Yeah, I have a few. Let me think. On March 11th, that is in 8 days, I will be at House of Glory Wrestling in Queens, New York. So if you're in the area, come check it out. The shows, I know I've used this word a couple times, but when I say electric, the crowd is unlike any other crowd in the world. It's such an amazing crowd at these House of Glory shows, and I just love it. I mean, it's what the sound system they have in there. It's like the shows are in a nightclub, so it's like the sound system is crazy, and the music is just reverberates through the whole club, the whole venue, and the crowd goes wild. On the very next day, March 12th, I have Full Faith Wrestling in Deer Park, Long Island, and I'm actually going to be wrestling for the Full Faith Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against Mr. Anthony Gangone. So that should be a really fun match. It'll be the second time I'm in a heavyweight championship bout, not for Full Faith, but my first for Full Faith. So that's really exciting. And then I have UWA Elite. That is a small promotion in New Jersey, at South River, New Jersey. So if you're in the area, you know, come by. It's a really great show, great storytelling, great characters. That's going to be March 26th, I believe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, come check them out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been asked so many times, like, you got to check out House of Glory. You have to check out House of Glory. And I'm like, I haven't had the time, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows that you should go to once. I mean, they will bring in it. I always kind of say they bring in these big names, but you stay for like the homegrown talent. It's like you come for Will Ospreay and you stay for like Charles Mason, or you come there for Jay White and you stay for Nolo Kitano. It's like
we're forgetting you. We're forgetting you.
Yeah,
right
or Officer Sweet Cheeks. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But it's such a great promotion and such a great crowd. It's going to be one of those things that it keeps growing. So keep an eye on House of Glory. Keep an eye on Sweet Cheeks.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Unless Joe has any more questions.
I'm set. I'm all happy, and my belly's full of candy.
You got anything for us? You got anything for us?
You want to ask us some questions before we head out? You could ask us some questions.
Yeah, let me ask you what are your favorite matches
of all time? Okay, Geek, you go first. I have good ones.
I said this many times on the podcast. My favorite match of all time would be Okada versus Omega 4.
Love it. Can't go wrong. One of the best of all time.
Okay. My favorite match of all time is Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc.
Wow. Also a classic, an instant classic.
And Rey Mysterio is my favorite wrestler of all time, just might I add. And I am so happy. I'm looking at the February calendars. Dang it, Joe, you had one job. Is it next week when WWE 2K22 comes out? I'm marking out because I got the deluxe edition. So
there you go.
With Rey Mysterio's mask right there. And my friends are like, "You're such a Rey fan. You didn't even get his logo yet." I'm like, that may be my next tattoo, Rey Mysterio's logo, like right here.
I love it.
I may get my grandfather, but I'm thinking of like, maybe get Rey, a little Rey.
Grandfather, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Wait, I have one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with one wrestler who is no longer alive, who would it be and why?
You want me to go first? You go.
You go first, Joe.
Well, as I said before, I would definitely want to sit down with my grandfather and like see how, as my dad always tells me stories about how him with Haystacks, I want to hear from his perspective on how it was to work with Haystacks Calhoun, to be around Classy Freddie Blassie, Killer Kowalski. What was Vince McMahon Sr. like? Was he a jerk? Was he a nice guy? I just would like to also tell him that if it wasn't for you, Grandpa, I would never be a wrestling fan. And like knowing that my grandfather was in the business only for 2 years, but just be able to know that his grandson is keeping his name alive in this generation of wrestling and having young wrestlers like your generation, knowing about the name Jose Quinones in the Panther, it's good to know that they're keeping his name alive in 2022.
Love that. Very touching. That's a good answer.
I would have to say Eddie Guerrero, one of the greatest of all time, right there. So to hear the stories from him of his family legacy and everything, love to hear it.
Yeah,
he probably has tons. You know.
God.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I actually was really lucky to work with Vicky Guerrero at the last Full Faith Wrestling show. She was managing my opponent, and so we had a whole like fun, like crazy thing with some candy. She distracted me, and then he picked up the win. But just getting to work with her and interact with her was really, really cool. And you could it was like the Eddie Guerrero rubbing shoulders, like the magic dust was falling onto me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know.
Yeah, really cool.
But anyway, you have anything else, or are you good?
I'm good. Guys.
You can keep going. You can keep going.
You gotta be careful with your cell phone. We don't your phone.
Yeah,
your phone guys can go to your laptop. So.
I know. Yeah, my phone might die like in a minute. So.
All right. So we want to thank you again. We hope to have you back in the future.
We will.
Maybe one day you could win the title or something like that, a championship. And there you go. So, like I said, we want to thank you so much. Hope to have you in the future. I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III.
And
I'm Sweet Cheeks Joey Silver.
And we will see you in the next one.
Thank you, guys.